One thing is for certain in the AMA Supermoto Series, if you're gonna win the championship, you need to knock Gage McAllister off the top of the mountain. Gage slid into victory in this legendary motorcycling town. Will race 2 be any different? Find out next on MAV. Hello and welcome to the AMA Pro Supermoto Series. We're coming at you from the streets of Sturgis, South Dakota. It's round number 3, race 2 of the Open Pro class. I'm Greg White alongside AMA Supermoto and motocross legend Doug Henry. And Doug, this is race 2 because we already have race 1 in the books. Let's take a look at some highlights. What happened earlier on in the day. Left part of your screen, number 64, Shane Narbonne qualified 6th. They invert the starting grid, which puts him up front. Looks like he got a good shot, but nope, he goes a little wide. Yeah, just a little bit too much front brake there. I think he was nervous that he wasn't going to make the first turn and had to pull outside, go around the barrels, and pretty much start from the back. Number 351 is Jake LaForge. He would lead the way. Right behind him, number 27 is Hoffman, as well as the number 1 plate, Gage McAllister. Those teammates had enough of Jake LaForge as he went a little wide, and Hoffman would take over the lead.
I tell you, that seems like a great place to pass. A lot of passes have been made there, a lot of mistakes, a little bumpy, tricky, but you see Gage not waiting for that spot. He wants to make a place, a new spot to pass.
So lap after lap, Gage McAllister was trying his teammate Hoffman until he goes up the inside, and this pass would be all she wrote. McAllister would ride off into the sunset and take the checkered flag and the win in race number 1. Here's a look at those results. Hoffman held on to 2nd place. Tyler O'Hara came up to 3rd as Mickey Diamond and Josh McLean would battle it out. Let's go down to Danny Medine, who has Eric Stump.
The number 77 of Eric Stump took his first career win recently, but Eric, it's a whole new day, whole new track. You're looking to put it up on the box. Do you have a strategy to get it done?
I don't know. I think the bike's just now finally coming around to suit the streets race, I had to soften it a lot since that first main, and I'm just hoping that the bike's working a lot better because I know I can put in better results.
So Eric Stump, one of our studs in the AMA Pro Supermoto Series, trying to find some traction. As the starting grid remains the same, Shane Narbonne qualified 6th on time, but they invert the top 6. And that is to make it a little bit more exciting for the race fans as well as for the racers themselves, especially when we get to some of these tracks, Doug, that can be just one line.
Yeah, it's tough. When you got a guy that's going real fast, you want to try to make things a little bit more even, and this is what it does.
So here we go, the start of the race, we're underway, and it looks like Josh McLean on the 60. The Australian gets the whole shot. Shane Narbonne with a much better start this go around, he's in 2nd place.
Oh, wow.
Wow, big crash right off the start. Boy, that is not what you like to see here when you get into that first dirt section. His riders scattered everywhere. And there goes number 77 Stump. So a big, big crash right out front. Josh McLean on the 60 is leading this one. We'll have to see if they can get that one cleaned up in time by the time these riders get around. But for the Australian, he's seeing nothing but road up ahead.
Yeah, that looked pretty bad there. Took a lot of guys out. Anytime you have a crash, that early in a race, you're going to take down some guys. Hope they're okay.
The officials here, AMA Supermoto, trying to get that spot cleaned up before the race leader comes by. As Narbonne on the 64 in 2nd spot, Gage McAllister in 3rd, and the green flag flies on this one as McLean comes around the corner. You can see the officials taking a look, and it looks like, oh, there it is, folks. The red flag flies on this one as Tyler O'Hara, looks like Tyler O'Hara on the 19 is down as riders come by. So Tyler now up, but looks like he's hurting. So the red flag comes out, which means the race will stop. They're going to have to get this whole thing sorted out. Let's take a look at the replay, Doug, on what happened, trying to sort this whole thing out.
Boy, it's really tough to see, but it looks like somebody got sideways on the first jump there and just took everybody down.
You can see riders with their hands in the air trying to get through the dust here as Josh McLean was coming under fire early from Shane Narbonne. Here's a look from the backside. Oh, and it looks like it's number 27, Hoffman. So Hoffman is the one who slides out. Okay, well, we're going to get this whole red flag situation sorted out here on NAV TV. Don't go anywhere. On the other side of the break, we'll have your answer. All right, so we're back here on MAV TV with the AMA Pro Supermoto. We're under red flag for race number 2 of the Open Pro class. While they get this thing sorted out, Doug Henry's hitting with me in the booth. And, you know, right up front looking at this replay, you just see a motorcycle going sideways and Tyler O'Hara the left part of your screen. But that's not the entire story, is it?
Right. It's tough to see from that angle, but this angle you can see that Huffman just loses the rear end. His bike squirts to the right and takes Tyler and a couple other guys with him.
While we have a moment of the Open Pro red flag, here's a look at the Amateur National class. This is a class designed to get people, when we show up to a local event, to come on out and race. It is part of the AMA Supermoto National program. And out front early in this one is number 29, and that's Mike Maloney out of Rapid City, South Dakota.
I like the fact that they have these amateur races at the Nationals. It gives the guys just an opportunity to just kind of see where they're at and see if it's something that they would be interested in trying. Do I want to become a professional supermoto racer? This is my opportunity to see if I like it.
And yeah, Doug, AMA Supermoto is not easy. It's not for the faint at heart, because sometimes even things like this happen. Oh, big crash right there. That's number 66, Glenn Fuller out of Bakersfield, California.
Yeah, I think they were just two riders just searching for that same piece of ground there. And like I said before, there's just been a lot of action in that one section of the track.
So up front early, it was the 29 on the Yamaha of Mike Maloney. But then here comes the 285 of Malcolm Barker out of Saratoga Springs, Utah. And with that pass, that would take him all the way to the checkered flag. And Malcolm Barker out of Utah will take the win. Let's take a look at the results. Confirmation here as you have Barker, Maloney, and Travis Jordan on the 823 finishing out the podium. And Drew Fry on the 7F round out the top 5. All right, so that's done and dusted. That's the Amateur National class. The red flag has been sorted out in the Open Pro class as we get start number 2 underway, and Shane Narbonne on the inside on that 64 Honda with the hole shot.
Yeah, this time he maybe learned from the first race to back it down just a little bit. Came in through that first turn nice and smooth. See how he does the rest of the race.
Typical dust up there. Up the inside goes Hoffman on the 60 McLean. So Hoffman trying to take over that second spot. He gets it. So Shane Narbonne. Oh, whoa! Wow, so Hoffman into the back of Shane Narbonne as Narbonne feels that, but it's Hoffman who goes down.
You know, early in the race, it's when the best time to make your passes. Everybody's bunched up, but, you know, you're taking your chances because, you get too close to these guys and there's a lot of bumping and banging going on.
So McAllister now in his second spot, but let's take a look at the replay and see what happened to Hoffman. There's the former dirt tracker 64 going after it.
Just got in there a little bit too hot, caught the rear wheel, and just high-sided him. Those high sides hurt.
Yeah, they certainly hurt. So Hoffman up and okay, though, as Shane Narbonne continues to lead the way. So Narbonne out of Massachusetts came all the way here to South Dakota to compete, and he's got the number 1 plate. Gage McAllister, though, right behind him. And you can see the story at Sturgis, South Dakota has always been, since they started racing here, traction. How do you find it? Well, right now, Gage McAllister is the master at it.
Yeah, he's just, I think with the first race, he's got some lines out there that nobody really expects to be able to make a pass. And, he just squared it up for that dirt section, just got on the power. He's nice and straight and was able to make the pass.
AMA Supermoto, lightly modified motocross bikes, different wheels, because they house different tires than, of course, motocross bikes do. Those are slick tires in the dirt and on the pavement with a full 30 pounds of pressure. Now, let's take a look at a replay here as a pass for the lead happened. Take us through it.
He just comes in, carrying a little bit more momentum, dives up the inside, squares it up. He's hitting that jump nice and straight. He's able to soak it up just a little bit and stay low.
Beautiful shot by our camera folks, showing us that we are at Sturgis, South Dakota. Tyler O'Hara, the 19, after that big tumble he had before the commercial break. Tyler O'Hara back on the motorcycle. That was part of that red flag to get him collected back up. So there's Josh McLean on the 60. So right now, Tyler O'Hara after that big get-off in third spot. And I guess, Doug, you know, when you have a big crash like that in a situation like this, you got to put it out of your mind and keep racing, don't you?
Exactly. I mean, I'm sure he's really, really sore. The bike might be bent up a little bit, but that adrenaline just sort of takes over. He's back to racing again. Right now, he's not feeling much of that anymore.
AMA Supermoto, a blend of different motorcycle racing disciplines. Road race, dirt track, of course, motocross. These are motocross bikes that are lightly modified, including special wheels on them so they can house these slick tires and they go on and off that pavement. A good look at number 77, Eric Stump. Now, Stump, before the season started, a lot of people were talking about Eric Stump possibly being the person to knock off Gage McAllister and snatch that number 1 plate from him. He already has a win this season. So far, trying to find some traction here at Sturgis. He's a little behind. There is the battle for second place between Tyler O'Hara, the 19. He's in that road race, full leathers. And number 64, Shane Narbone. And Narbone with a bit of a misfire.
It's just a little mistake. That's what it's taken out there. I'm not really a big fan of the whole leather thing. I tried wearing the leather suit, and you know, I just couldn't get comfortable. I felt like I couldn't move around on the bike as much as I wanted to.
I totally get that. It makes perfect sense. On a road race bike, you're limited range of motion. But on a motocross bike, when you're in motocross gear, that's when you can just move around all you want. So, goes Tyler O'Hara into second spot. Let's take a look at the replay and see how this whole thing unfolded.
It looks like he just kind of comes out of the dirt just a little bit hot, a little bit wide, and you know, just loses that little bit of traction. That's all it takes. You can see the ground that they're on. It's a little bit bumpy, it's a little bit rough, it's dusty. It's a challenging part of the track.
And there's still a lot of race left to run here on the streets of Sturgis. Don't go anywhere on MAV TV. We'll have more coming up. Back to the streets of Sturgis, South Dakota for AMA Pro Supermoto, race number 2 of the Pro Open class going on right now, with Gage McAllister, the number 1 plate, leading the way as we pick up the battle for 5th spot. This is between number 77, Eric Stump, and number 43, Mickey Diamond.
Yeah, this is a good battle right here. Mickey's been behind him for a little bit, and you know, he's trying to put the pressure on, and Eric just isn't making any mistakes, and you know, Mickey may just have to force the issue.
So Mickey Diamond there on the 43, trying to become a series regular this year. Same thing we see from these big 450s lap after lap. Rear end's going sideways, no traction control or electronic devices you see on a street bike available on these motorcycles. 77 Stump, talked about him a little earlier on in the show, was really touted to possibly be the heir to the throne of the number 1 plate, at least to give Gage McAllister some fits. And so far in the season, the first couple races, Stump delivered with a race win, but really struggling here in Sturgis as this battle for 5th with Josh McLean just up ahead in 4th still going on. I can tell you too, Doug, it looks like the riders behind them are starting to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, I think when you have a battle like this, you know, Eric is trying to protect his line, Mickey's trying to get around him, so that slows them down actually, and brings the other riders who are charging, you know, right up ahead of them, and they see him right there. They know that there's a chance that there's going to be a mistake.
So it looks like Mickey Diamond on the 43 is setting them up, and there they go. Little rub, little bumping going on. Rubbin's racing. Oh, and Stumpy fights back, but it looks like the advantage is going to go to Mickey Diamond. So Mickey Diamond getting into it with Eric Stump. There's a reason why these, wait a second. Was that Stump off to the right part of our screen?
Yeah, it looks like he was looking down to the back. Not sure what happened. Maybe Mickey got in there and got hot and hit him.
Oh, look at Stump.
Oh, flat tire.
Flat tire for Eric Stump, which will end a great battle. Let's take a look at the sequence to see how they got to this point. Mickey Diamond right there looking good.
It just seems like Mickey's trying to get him everywhere on the track, trying different lines, inside, outside, almost hitting the hay bales right there. Coming through the dirt section, trying to drive up the inside. That doesn't work.
And then this move as it comes up, Mickey Diamond with his feet on and off the pegs. He's going to go right in there and force the issue.
Yeah, you know, I'm thinking there's a chance that Eric might have been losing pressure on the beginning, because it definitely looks like he's just not getting the traction that he was getting earlier in the race.
All eyes are on that rear tire. And there he goes, number 77 Stump. He's going to let some riders go by, and then he's going to head to the pits. More racing still to come. Back to the streets of Sturgis, AMA Supermoto action. As we start to go through the field here, your leaders Gage McAllister, Tyler O'Hara, Shane Narbonne. And there's a good look at Mickey Diamond. And there's Tyler Sweeney. Jake LaForge on the 351, who was our race 1 early leader, is being hounded by number 27, Hoffman. Wow, looked like they went up the inside. Oh, I just saw a bike go down there in the background. And Hoffman off the racetrack. Oh, it's a big save.
Skating around with them slick tires, boy, and that's tough.
All right, let's take a look. Now watch the middle part of your screen up there to the right, Doug. What do you see?
It looks like Hoffman diving up the inside, pushing LaForge to the outside into the loose stuff. Wow, looks like he just lost his front end there.
So another look at it from this angle, and you can see LaForge is already down at this point, and that sent Hoffman off to a very weird angle going over that jump, and he's able to save it.
He's lucky he was able to keep it on 2 wheels right there.
That is some loose dirt, too. I mean, that's what you got to do. You just wheel in some dirt here to the street of Sturgis, South Dakota, and pile it up. Take some jumps. There goes Gage McAllister. That is the lead. And that right there is lap traffic. So here comes second place Tyler O'Hara. So Tyler O'Hara in second place after what was a big get-off early on in the race. If you're joining us just now, Tyler O'Hara had a big crash that caused a red flag and a restart. Here's a look at the replay.
Yeah, this looked really, really bad in the beginning. I'm glad everybody turned out okay, but you know, Hoffman got a little sideways and took out Tyler, and boy, he landed right on that asphalt right on the side there. I'm telling you, that pavement is not soft to land on.
A little bit better though if you have a road race suit on, I think, as they're made for it. As Shane Narbonne in third spot. Tyler O'Hara and Shane Narbonne, they pit together in that same area. They're good friends, even though they come from different sides of the country. Shane Narbonne out of Massachusetts, where Tyler O'Hara's from Petaluma, California. So Narbonne right there, early race leader. He started from row number 1. As we notch back for the battle for 9th spot, there's a look at LaForge. So LaForge has picked up his motorcycle. He continues to race on.
Yeah, he got back up, got going again, got a good pace going, and he's making his way up through the field.
Brady Tossum, number 80, on that green Kawasaki, also in the mix there. As we head back up front, Tyler O'Hara continues to hold on to second spot. Narbonne in third. There's the 108 of Sam Knox. He's getting lapped. And there, how about that battle? We talked about it before. It's the 60 and the 43 going after each other. And number 27, Hoffman, has picked his motorcycle up. So O'Hara, after getting dinged up earlier on in this race before that red flag, they got him cleaned up and back out onto the racetrack, and now he's in second spot. So many points up for grabs in this one early on in the season, as this battle between number 60 McLean and Mickey Diamond continues to rage on. And Diamond, always the professional, he understands to keep the pressure on. Sometimes riders make mistakes.
Yeah, he's a strong rider. You know, he's raced so many, for so long he's been racing. And he just has so much experience. Following riders, you're not going to pass him. He's going to try everything he can to get by him.
So the white flag is out on this one. This signifies the final lap of the race. So if Mickey Diamond has anything in the tank, he's got to go after Josh McLean soon. And there goes Diamond. It looked like he was going to make a bit of a move. There's Dustin Hoffman in sixth spot. So we can see that Mickey Diamond has gotten around McLean. So the Australian now is coming under fire from number 27, Hoffman. And just like that, he loses a spot, and he might lose another one if he's not careful.
It's the last lap here. Anything can happen.
That's right. It is the last lap, and Gage McAllister has one more corner to negotiate. And if he can make it through this one safe, he will take the checkered flag, and he does. So the victory and the double goes to Gage McAllister. And here is that battle for fifth spot. Hoffman on the 27. Oh, he gets around McLean, and now McLean trying to get his motorcycle stopped.
Oh no. A little too far outside. Oh, and the soft stuff. Oh no, did he lose a position? I think that might have been a lap.
Narbonne comes across. No way to finish the last lap. Let's take another look.
What an amazing corner. This is that spot, a lot of passes. Hoffman goes a little wide, tries to square it up, drive down the inside. McLean doesn't want to let him go, though. He wants to try to drive up the inside of him and take over that lead, and he just loses some traction. Luckily, he didn't take both of them out.
So there he goes. He's kind of off the motor, so he's trying to drive up the hill. That's a slick tire in dirt. Oh, he can't. Boy, I've been a hill climb a couple times like that. That one just hurts on the last lap. more or less with the checkered flag in sight, McLean. That's too bad for him. But the win goes to Gage McAllister. He will sweep the day here at Sturgis. We'll take a break and hear from him next.
Gage McAllister, you do it again, putting the number 1 bike back up into the top spot. That was a physical, it was a mental race. There was a lot going on out there.
Yeah, definitely. With that restart that we had, it was a little hectic on the first start. I'm glad they restarted that. Got some more riders up at the front for the restart, and the second start was pretty hectic as well. There was a couple more riders that went down, and I was just able to stay out of the carnage and make my way to the front. And once I made my way to the front, I tried to make a couple sprint laps to get a little gap on the guy behind me, and I was able to do that. And then second place actually got passed, and then the guy in second was putting on a hard charge to try to catch me, so I had to put my head down and ride the rest of the race a little bit faster than I would have liked to. But it's good. I'm super stoked to go 1-1 on the day today, and what better place to do it than Sturgis and get redemption from last year.
Gage McAllister is leaving Sturgis on top of the box, points leader. He's a pretty happy guy.
Of course, you're going to give us a thumbs up because anytime you win races, it's the best feeling in the world. Confirmation of the results, McAllister, O'Hara, and Narbonne standing on the podium. Mickey Diamond with another great result here in Sturgis. How about second place rider O'Hara?
You know, as you can see, my bike's pretty well tore up, and the first start was real crazy. You know, they invert the starts, so I qualified second, and then we had to go to the second row to start fifth, and went into the first dirt section, and Hoffman crashed, and I clipped him going off the jump and flew about 40 feet in the air, and then crashed and really hurt my pelvis. And you know, I was fortunate that they threw the red flag again, and you know, got the restart and got a second chance, and I just never gave up and kind of worked my way through the field again.
Congratulations on second place, Tyler O'Hara. Moving up on the box from third to second. He's leaving Sturgis a pretty happy guy.
All right, next time we see you, we will be in Denver at Colorado National Speedway. That'll wrap things up from Sturgis, South Dakota in the streets. And Doug, that was some spectacular racing.
That was good. I love Sturgis. I love the atmosphere there. The racing there is always good.
All right, that'll do it for us. For Doug and Danny, I'm Greg. See you next time.